My mom pulled out of her purse this Bible. It was in like the box, the original box that it came in, and just kind of set it on the table. And my parents just started talking about just life and my birth mother, and then they said, we know that your mother was a Christian and that she truly, deeply, madly loved you, and she only wanted the best for you. And this was the last thing that she gave us before we adopted you. Inside is just a little note that she kind of wrote, just basically telling me that she loves me and that she prays that God will protect me and be with me.
Nate Huss's birth mother put him up for adoption when he was only 3 weeks old. God placed him in a unique home.
So I'm the youngest of 8, and we're all adopted. And if you can picture the UN, that's exactly what my family looks like.
Even in the warmth of a large Christian family, Nate was secretly dealing with the issues brewing inside of him.
I think one of the things, especially contributed to by being adopted or coming from being adopted, was the fact that I felt a sense of abandonment. I felt like my mother, wow, she must not have loved me if she gave me up. As the story goes of what I've heard and what's on the papers, my mother was a successful, middle-aged, in her 30s woman who was perfectly capable of taking care of me. I think that was one of the really big things that hit me, especially coming through the end of elementary school and going into junior high, not really feeling like I fit into any particular place. I didn't really know where I belonged, and so that was kind of hard for me.
Nate accepted Christ at a young age, but for years he struggled to claim the gift of God's unconditional love.
My parents are unbelievably amazing Christians, and so I had the opportunity of being raised in a strong Christian home, but like any kid, you aren't born a Christian. You have to choose for yourself, and there comes a point when you choose to live your life on your own or live it God's way. Growing up, this is how I saw the church. Church is for the healthy, so you go and you act like you got it all together and you act like you know what's going on. I had to be better, I had to have my life together, or else I'd be judged or let down or shut out or pushed away. And that's the last thing I needed, was another person to push me away or shut the door. I think a lot of insecurities started snowballing and building up, and inevitably ended up just completely depressed and oftentimes very suicidal. And I was really good at hiding it because, you know, I had to be strong in front of people, and I had to put on the good face because I didn't want people to know that I was weak.
At a spiritual retreat during Nate's freshman year in college, God's love managed to break through walls that Nate had been building for years.
That night was a huge revival for me and a big turning point. And after that, that was kind of my moment when I was like, all right, Lord, take me as I am and make me who you want me to be, because obviously I can't do it on my own. It was hard, but it was definitely the breaking point, I think, in my life.
Throughout his life, Nate found freedom and release through his musical gifts. Nate began singing and playing guitar at an early age. And shortly after his rededication, Nate won a contest that brought him to Nashville to produce his debut album, Here With Me. And while working on the lyrics, Nate says God used the writing process to heal his deeply rooted insecurities.
It's kind of funny because when I first started doing it, like I was like, man, I just want to do music. Like I just want to get up and just play and have fun and interact. And slowly it's kind of changed directions a little bit. Here With Me is an album that just kind of is a backstory of the things that I've gone through and the things that I would say I'm still struggling with. I just want people to recognize that God loves them. He's holding them. He loves them. He knows who they are and hasn't forgotten them. And all you have to do is just turn up and look and say, Father, here I am. And He's going to grab you and take hold of you and love you for who you are.
In addition to pursuing his career in Christian music, Nate is directing his focus to adoption and women's ministries. He's become a spokesperson for internationally known Mercy Ministries.
The opportunity to work with young women that struggle with self-harm, eating disorders, and even young women with early teen pregnancy is just one of the things that I have an opportunity to do, to give back, and just hoping that I can give a message of hope and allow people to see that they are beautiful, who they are.
And through his album, Nate also found forgiveness and gratitude for a woman he's never met.
Ended up co-writing a song with my oldest brother Dan called Your Own, and it's just a song thanking my birth mother for the opportunity of life. I am so privileged to be alive and breathe, and if it wasn't for her selflessness and love, I wouldn't be here today.
I now see how hard it is to say goodbye. And my life's a result of your love. Flesh of your flesh, and I'm truly blessed. Oh,